Well, there are definitely two situations. I mean, just this morning, we heard from the very first guest. He said he used to be on your side, and he's finally changed, or he's now come over to this other side, the side that sees reason with the executive. The same thing happened on the News at 10 yesterday, where we spoke with Mr. Emeka Ngige, SAN, and he said he also used to be on the side of the legislature, but now he seems to be seeing reason that really Section 171, subsection D, as you read out, does seem to agree with the executive that they shouldn't have sent Magu there in the very first instance, because you read that, for instance, now Section 1713 and 1714 are pretty specific on A and B. I mean, A could be appointed without being sent to the Senate, as we've seen the tradition observe. But B and C, the head of civil service, there is an extra provision in subsection 3 and an extra provision for B in subsection 4. However, it is silent on D, which is the extra ministerial department of the government of the Federation. Shouldn't we be focusing on what the definition of extra ministerial department is according to the Constitution, or according to the schedules attached to the Constitution? Shouldn't that be the focus?
That is exactly the issue. There is no confusion here. There is a statute on ground. Because the Constitution did not clearly state that if the president acted otherwise, that he would have breached the Constitution. It's just a question of convenience that the argument is going on. Okay? Now, let me refer you to 1715, subsection 5. It refers that in exercising that power of appointment in this particular section, that the federal government or the president must observe federal character. And we know what federal character is about. 14.3, section 14.3, clearly states what federal character is about. And I'm asking, from the time of inception of EFCC in 2002 till date, that institution has been manned from people from a certain part of the country and certain faith. This argument, ordinarily, that appointment of that whatever may not have been an issue. But this argument going on now, Magu or nobody else, throws up the issues of federal character. Why is it that EFCC has never been manned by a person from the southern part of the country? Or is crime a southerner? Crime, is it a southern Nigerian affair? That is one issue that must be addressed going forward, because this issue has thrown up that argument. If people have kept quiet for this, but you cannot throw it into their face. Now, Magu, the tradition that has been established in the management of EFCC is that you have to have legal training. Magu, to the best of my knowledge, is not a lawyer. And you need a very high dose of legal training to be able to decipher the intricacies of modern legal issues that come from, look at the challenges that they're having in courts. If you have to rely on legal opinion and you don't have content, because legal opinion is an advice to you, you must have content to query it or accept it on certain principles. So even legally speaking, or constitutionally speaking, there's absolutely no infraction. I am not about to change to any side or no side, because I have no side. I am at the center. What I'm saying is that I'm very objective. It is immaterial to me who is running the EFCC, because I'm not a criminal. I'm not about to become tomorrow. Now, the point I'm making is that while the president is even appointing, he must address federal character, because there are a lot of agitations going on even in the country as a result of direct infringement, breach of the Constitution. And if they now want to obey the Constitution because of this nebulous aspect of it, then they should address the ones that are so clear and people have been too ceremonious about their infractions.
Well, you talked about national unity, I mean, sorry, federal character, as it were, to promote national unity.
Yes,
Isn't
in
it
all
referring
appointments.
to the totality of the appointment as specified in Section 171?
Sorry, come again.
You made reference to the fact that the subsection 171 refers to national, to federal character, and you say that the appointment have not reflected, especially the appointment to the EFCC chairmanship position, have not reflected federal character in terms of the tenors or those who have served there, because they've only been from one part of the country, from one section of the country. But isn't that section referring to the totality of all those to be appointed under Section 171 instead of just one position, as you have pointed out?
That's what I'm saying. 1715 said in any of positions that the president has power to appoint under this particular section, it must reflect federal character. And it behoves the president to look at the history of that institution, to look at it, who have been there, and adjust. Because especially as a government that promises change, you must change in all aspects of our national life. Let it not be preachment. I've said I will ordinarily not be interested in who mans what. But when it is thrown in your face that this is the situation, then it becomes an issue. It becomes an issue that somebody, a human being like us, that is not infallible, that is not immortal, is being hinged on an institution that is supposed to be eternal.